Hey everybody, and welcome to 6th grade math. I'm Mr. Mull. That's right, there's M&Ms today. Let's try not to eat our M&Ms until near the end of class when we're all done with our work. We got some things we have to determine first before we get to eat them. So, first thing we're going to do is determine the fraction of brown M&Ms that are in my jar and how we do that. And then we're going to learn about percentages, the percentages of M&Ms in your jar. We're going to get up into groups and all that. So the objectives for today is we're going to learn what a fraction is and how to calculate a fraction. Then we're going to learn what a percentage is and how to calculate a percentage. So what is a fraction? Does anybody know what a fraction is? All right, so a fraction is a small, tiny part of a whole. An example would be, he hesitated for a fraction of a second. Or let's look at it in the realm of pizza. How do you determine, how do you find a fraction with pizza? So let's say last night for supper I had Papa John's. I had a Papa John's pizza, and I ate 2 slices of the pizza. Now the pizza represents just one. There was the one pizza. I had the one pizza, right? But but there was 8 slices to the pizza. So the whole pizza was divided into 8 parts. So we know that we write that as 8 over 1. That represents 8 slices of the whole pizza. Now I only had 2 pieces of pizza, right? So I had 2 pieces of the pizza. So I had 2 slices out of 8. And that would be the fraction for the amount of pizza I had. I had 2/8 of the pizza. And can we reduce that down? We learned that before. Does anybody remember? That's right. It gets reduced down to 1/4. So I had 1/4 of the pizza. That's what a fraction is. There's the numerator and the denominator. It's the bottom number. And that's how we calculate a fraction. I had 1/4 of last night's delicious Papa John's pizza. Now a percent. What is a percent? Well, a percent, think of the word cent. Cent means 100. There's 100 cents in a dollar. There's 100 years in a century. So percent just basically means per 100. And so I have written down here, a percentage is a number or ratio expressed as a fraction of 100. And it's often denoted using the percent sign, this sign. So if we go back to my Papa John's pizza last night, I had 1/4 of the pizza. The best way to turn that into a fraction would be to turn that, if it was 100, so we have 100 over something. So 4 goes into 100, that's right, 25 times. So 4 times 25 equals 100. So we also have to multiply this number by 25. So 1 times 25, oh, help me out, guys. That's right, 25. So 25 over 100, or 25 per 100, or 25%. So I had 25%. That's how much pizza I had last night. So that's similar to what we're going to do today with the delicious, yummy M&Ms. Now the first question we have is what fraction? What we're going to do with me is we're going to determine fractions. So how would we determine the amount of brown M&Ms in my jar, the fraction of brown M&Ms in my jar? Well, first we need to know, that's right, first we need to know how many M&Ms are total in my jar. So we'll pour them out on our paper towel, and we count them up. Oh, whoa, there's 32. There's 32 M&Ms in my jar. So we know we started out with 32. That is our total number. Also would be our bottom number in a fraction because it's the total number of, like we had one pizza, there was 8 parts of one pizza. So we have 32, that's the whole number of M&Ms. So that is our denominator in our fraction. Now the total number of brown M&Ms we have is 8. There are 8 brown M&Ms. So the fraction that would represent the number of brown M&Ms in my jar is 8 over 32. Now, could that be reduced? Does 8 go into 32? Let's see, we got 8 times 2? No. That's right, 4 times. 8 goes into 32 4 times. So just like with my pizza, it gets reduced down to 1/4. And then we kind of already did the percentage on that one. We know what that is. So I have 25% of my M&Ms are brown M&Ms. All right? And that's how we determine that. Now each of you at your station has a jar of M&Ms and a paper towel. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your worksheet and we're going to determine all of the colors of our M&Ms. All right? So what we do is first we're going to count out our total number of M&Ms that's in our group jars. And you're going to put that here at number 1. That is your denominator. Then you're going to figure out the number of each of your flavors. Orange, red, brown, blue, green, yellow. You figure that out. Now down here we have fractions and we have percents. So remember when you're writing the orange, red, brown, blue, green, and yellow in the percents, just like here, I had 832 was my percentage, my fraction of brown M&Ms in my jar. If you ever get lost on what your denominator is supposed to be, just look back up here at number 1 because you wrote it down. It's going to be the same across the board, right? So, for example, under my brown, I would have 8 30-seconds of brown M&Ms, but we know that that can be reduced down to 1/4, so I would reduce it down. So we have all our fractions for our colors, and then what we're going to do is we're going to turn all those fractions into percentages. So we will have a percentage of every color of M&Ms that's in the jar of your group. All right? And then what we'll do, when you finish all this, just raise your hand. I'll come around, I'll check it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to draw a graph to illustrate your results. So you're all working together, but each of you will draw a graph. You can draw a bar graph. You can draw a pie graph. There's probably some other kind of graph, but and that's how you illustrate your results. And then you're done, and you get to eat some tasty, yummy M&Ms. And that's fractions and percents.